People, Deluded. Now, I hope you all can clearly see my tactics board. And I just wanted to talk you through, I don't even know the point of this, but you lot are always asking me things I would like to see at Arsenal, or how I'd like to shape Arsenal in my vision and things. Of course, there's no rights and wrongs. Ultimately, I'm a football fan like you, that just has an opinion, and that's all it is. But in terms of Arsenal, I thought, you know what, you lot got a point. I might as well try it. Firstly, let's put my man on the pitch and let's remove him. Now, this is the opposition, people, yeah? I've purposely made our back four for specific reasons different colours. So we've got our two fullbacks in yellow, almost forgot my colours. And we've got our two centre-halves. And you know what? We'll put Leno in goal. Now, these two are somewhat irrelevant. The centre-halves are completely irrelevant to a degree, because I want you to more focus on something else. Arsenal do what I'm about to say often, but I'd like to see it revamped. First and foremost, I'd like to see us squeeze a bit more. We squeeze high up the field, but if you just imagine, like I said, this is the opposition's defence, people. I would like to see a bit more of this consistently. It happens, but it's disjointed. This is our midfield three. Now, I'd like to see our midfield, when we're obviously applying pressure on teams, I'd like to see our midfield do something like this. That's why, for me, I need dynamic, robust midfielders. You lot know I like my playmakers and my poetry and motion dons, but football has left them sort of man there. So I'd like my midfielders to be tight together, but when we're trying to squeeze and not allow an opposition player out or let the team play out, I want to see something like this. I want to see my fullbacks go as well, people, to be fair with you. I want to see my fullbacks go. I want to squeeze. And then you'd have my centre-halves. This is what you see at Arsenal anyways. But I'd want to squeeze. So that's what I'd want to see it anyways, people. I'd like to see that more. But that's why I'd need, firstly, how I'd revamp it. I don't feel Arsenal have combative midfielders enough. I don't feel they're, excluding Torreira, they're necessarily the most combative and tigerish. But I don't feel they're most robust, because it comes to the recovering. You need to be able to get back. And I don't feel our players are robust enough. Apologies for doing that. In that sort of sense, people. I think I actually did this, another example on the back of this, and it could have been a bit better and more clearer for you lot. I'll see in a sec. But there's obviously that. And it's also interchanging movement. Now, if you look at Aubameyang and Lacazette, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, all these formation things, they're all valid, people, but they don't have to be situation for situation. For instance, I think we need wingers in it. 9 times out of 10, I want something like this. I want Aubameyang and Lacazette. I want Aubameyang or Lacazette, 2 wingers. We're not going to get 2 wingers, but I would like to play with 2 wingers. They'll be game to game. Obviously, Lacazette, Aubameyang, one will be on the bench. I actually feel if one of them could play out like Aubameyang, probably off the left or off the right, you could do something like that where he's a bit more narrow. And if we could sign a dynamic left back, he would take care of it. Do you see what I'm saying? The left back would provide that width, so Aubameyang can go into these spaces, so Lacazette can still take advantage. You see what I'm saying? How I would, obviously, you lot would probably thinking defensively, I'm leaving our left hand side vulnerable. I'm not really, people, because that's what I'm talking about: robust and competent midfielders. One that's robust enough to think, let me just deal with every now and again. Let me make sure this left hand side is patterned. Someone that helps him, and obviously as a team we shuffle over. Or you scream, do you see what I'm saying? So that if he's beaten, if the opposition beats him, people, obviously my man's there to screen it and whatnot. And then obviously we should be getting back into position anyways, and they should be shuffling across if the ball's on that side. And then obviously there's sort of that. So there's different ways, people, of going about things, man. You don't necessarily have to be fixated. So that's one way I would get the best. Because you got to look at who we have in our side. Aubameyang and Lacazette, they can play up top together. For instance, you could even, it's radical, but you could play 2 strikers. And I genuinely believe you could play Lacazette in that hole. You could play 3 up front, but he drops into that hole. And Eddie or Aubameyang are able to take advantage of the spaces. Either way, as well, obviously I'm all for this sort of thing in midfield, having a 10 and having 3 workers in midfield. I'm actually all for 4-4-2 of sorts, people. But it'd have to be, in fact, no, I'm lying to you. I'm not on 4-4-2. I'm really not on 4-4-2. I'd actually just prefer 1 striker. In fact, what am I doing, people? What was I going to show you lot again? What was I going to show you lot? I was going to show you lot something, but I've just forgotten about it. Oh yeah, spaces and shit and stuff. Trim the sword out, mad. But moving away from formations and all of that jazz, people, yeah, we need to play. For me, we need to play to our strengths. There's no point having, for me anyways, there's no point us having fullbacks. Obviously, everybody wants the Liverpools, the Robertsons and Trents. Everyone can talk about how much they can get up and down, and they can. Let's say what, Kola and Bellerin likely to be first choice next season. They're not clearly of the standard of them two, but they get up and down the flanks. But I think one thing they fall short on, clearly Robertson and Trent are better at them at just quick balls in behind. Now Kola is better than Bellerin at it. Kola's done it. Quick balls in behind. I want to see quick balls in behind for these men. If we've got wingers, quick balls in behind. Quick balls in behind. Aubameyang could actually make that quick ball into Aubameyang in behind as well. Or you can play it into these lot and Aubameyang's lurking and taps it in. So then if he does miss, it's Aubameyang's fault when he misses that tapping. So I feel we've got to play to their strengths more. Equally, I feel the midfielders, when Xhaka's receiving it off someone, sometimes he's just got to look and turn and think, bang, let me pull it in behind, or bang, let me put it in behind, or bang, or sometimes let me come short. And you lot take advantage of the space. He's onside and you attack the space, and this fullback come down here and this sort of thing happen, and you protect and you protect. Obviously, you've got to come up further and the centre halves come up. But I guess for how I would like to play people, for that, I'm thinking about it, and the team would need to be very robust, a bit more robust, and we need quicker players, because that's how I like to play people. I really like that. Even, I'm thinking about it now, could a 4-4-2 of sorts work? I'm a big fan of the 4-4-3, and I actually advocate for Unai Emery to mess with his tactics and play free at the back and all of these sort of things, because it makes us more adaptable. But for even if we're gonna away games, tough games in Europe, whether that's in the Europa League or Champs, hopefully we win Europa, we've got to have different tactics, people, and we've got to be able, they've got to stem from different things. Yeah, man, people, by the time you see this, obviously it cut out. I don't know where I was, and it kind of flopped it. But again, yeah, man, we've obviously got a 4-3-3 of sorts here. Obviously, my multicoloured defence is us. But I think one thing we'd have to change, people, is the difference of movement, man. I don't feel don't get it twisted. Arsenal are a very good team in terms of movement and scoring goals. Statistically, it's there. But to get back to how it was, I don't feel there's enough variety in movement. And I say this all the time. I don't feel, for instance, how can I make this? It's so much easier when I do it with just a pivot behind you. But I feel as much as the midfield is stale, when the midfield receive it off the centre half and my man's about to turn, everything is in front. Where's all the others? Take some from the back. Everything is in front. So if we put midfielders into this, we have a back four. If we play the opposition's midfield, how is that really going to disrupt them? Because in fact, let's make 4 midfielders. It makes it easier for you lot to see. If this is a team that doesn't want to be broken down, how are we going to break them down? If, like I said, he receives it here, he turns, and there's nothing in front. So he's going to side, and then backwards, and then backwards, and then backwards, and then Leno might get it, and then distribute it here. Fair enough, we might make a run and then get it here. But again, that's cool. Why? Because if the winger follows, the left back is free. Now, the left back, once the winger wins it and he goes back, they can start again themselves. They can start again, and they frustrate us because by now the crowd is probably going mad. We're pushing up a bit higher, and that's where we get hit on the break because the keeper might just deliver it out here, or better yet here, and then they're gone and they have an opportunity. So I feel there has to be a bit more variety in our movement, and for that to happen, I don't know how, but that's something Unai Emery's got to figure out, people. Like, for instance, the men are in possession, the wing backs, like they do, they've got to come up here and just take men away, because now there's decisions to make. Do I stay or do I go? It's 2v2. And in the midfield, they've got to be brave as well and think, let me try and play that whipped pass in behind or that pass over them. And sometimes Lacazette or Aubameyang, they've got to make runs and be unselfish and know you're not going to get the ball today, but my man can take advantage. And I can run here, and the fullbacks can even run in beyond. Our movement needs to change as a team. It's too stagnant and it's very predictable, and it plays into the opposition's hands, people, if we're completely honest with you. To be fair with you, I've got nothing more to add at this point. I can flip this around and see what apparently I was trying to do here. What point was I trying to make here? Must have been playing around. Oh, I think this was the same point I was reiterating, people. But in a nutshell, when the man's in possession, the front three, they've got to give something, man. Like, they've got to split, come deep, go long. Because why, people? When they do stuff like that as well, I keep focusing on the front three, but we've got to also get more from the midfield. If my man receives it, his fellow centre mids should even be splitting and showing for it. We need different sort of movement, people. Like, things need to happen. That's actually the match ball. I don't know. That's why I'm getting confused. But like the man in possession, there's got to be better movement, people. If we make you the man in possession, because you're behind everyone, there's got to be options. Once he receives it off him or off him, there's got to be legit options. There's no point people being, typically at Arsenal, people being 5 meters away from everyone. There's no point passing it like this. It looks great. It looks great, and look, I'm probably going to make a fancy little pattern. I promise I'm not trying to do this on purpose, people. But just by following them, I've made a, not with my handwriting, but a fancy little pattern. It looks good, but you're killing us. We're killing ourselves, because teams found out now that 9 times out of 10, this is what we're going to do. And you might catch Kohler down the left-hand side, Maitland-Niles as well, and Bellerin. But that's the only wide threat, and that's the only out ball consistently. Yes, Aubameyang might be on the last shoulder and support that thing 9 times out of 10. But you get the point at this point, I'd hope. On that note, I'm going to keep it moving, people. Deluded, thank you for watching and them things there. I'm out.